Mustangs fans, Josh Redman here, voice of the Peoria Mustangs, this newest edition of Around the Stable, joined by co-head coach Blake Ortman. Blake, how are things going?
Oh, they're going pretty good. We actually just got off the ice, so my voice is a little bit hoarse, but no, things are going good here. We're getting into a lot of details and a little bit more structure stuff this week, so it's been pretty exciting.
Little over a week away from the start of the regular season. Mustangs starting at home with Milwaukee in town. Not quite ready to get into the specifics on that just yet, but just keeping that fresh in everybody's mind as they watch this edition of Around the Stable. Going to talk real briefly about last season and the season coming to a close. This NA3HL Mustangs team, 32 wins, 1 win away from a franchise record in the NA3HL. I know it's hard to predict. Junior hockey is such a hard thing to predict and think of, who's going to win the division and who has the best odds to win the division. That stuff's really super hard to predict in junior hockey. But as a staff, how are you guys looking to build on that 32 win season and maybe hit that threshold of 33, 34, 35 wins?
It's a great feat what they did last year, and I think obviously they had a lot of success, but I think there was a lot left in the tank. I think that team had a little bit more to give, and obviously if you don't win a championship, you didn't achieve what you set out to achieve. I think it was a good year as far as development and obviously success moving players on to college and things like that. So I think we got to push even harder, and I think there should be a little bit of a bad taste in some of our guys returning's mouths, and you can definitely see that throughout our training camp so far. They've kind of spread that fire and that energy to the new guys, and kind of just let them know what the culture is going to be about here this year. And they're not going to accept losing this year, and I think that's a good attitude to have going in. And once we can get that spread throughout the whole team, that's going to be a really fun team to watch and compete every night.
And just one more thing, a guy like me, a broadcaster, I look at a lot of numbers and kind of process data. Some people look at some of the stuff I look at and they're like, that's just absolutely pointless data. One thing I look at a lot of is goals for and goals against. Last season, Mustang squad, 4th in the league, 34-team league, 4th in the league at goals allowed with 97, and right about mid-pack in goals for with 178. Is that something as a coaching staff you guys look at and you want to improve on goals for and lessen the goals against, or is that just things that come with by nature?
Oh, no, I think we definitely look at that. I mean, I think the goals against thing is definitely a testament to our goaltending last year. I thought we had 3 very good goalies the whole year, and obviously the structure that was put in place makes their jobs a little bit easier, and I'm sure they'll be the first ones to tell you that. But yeah, I mean, obviously the way we want to play here is a high possession game. If you have the puck the whole game, it's pretty hard to get scored on, and if the only shots you're giving up are from the outside, I think those numbers are going to reflect what they were. And I think this year we have a little bit more firepower, so we're going to be looking for that goals for number to be going up a little bit, and just the way that we're going to try to play this year. It's a new style. I'm not going to get into the details. I don't want to give away our top secrets or anything, but there might be a little bit different on the other side as well. We might give up a little bit more than we're used to here in Peoria, but I think it's going to be a lot more fun hockey to watch. And I think this year is going to be a special team, and they're going to be able to make those numbers improve.
So you said it, some of the returning guys, a little bit of a fire in their belly, fire in their eyes, and they're spreading that amongst the newcomers. We've had Maine Camp, and now camps opening, practices, workouts, all that good stuff. Maine Camp, it was a 3-day ordeal, Friday night, Saturday, and then Sunday. What did you see with 50 plus young men coming into Maine Camp? And I know you and I had talked very briefly in between one of the games, and you asked me, what do you think? And I said, and it was kind of the theme of the weekend, a lot of tough decisions to be made. But what did you think of the level of compete you saw both Saturday and Sunday in those games?
I honestly was I was blown away. It was probably one of the best camps in Peoria Mustangs history, compete wise. I mean, all the way through. There's been a lot of great camps. There's always a lot of standout players and stuff, but there's usually a lot of times, we don't get a lot of our guys until training camp because NA tryouts and NCDC tryouts and stuff like that. But we had everyone here, and it was awesome to watch. It was very high paced. There's plays being made that we talked about. There was plays being made that were more high IQ than some of the plays being made last year at the end of the season for that team. And it looked like a lot of the veterans, they did their job coming in shape and ready to rock and roll. And the new guys that came in are no joke. I mean, we got a lot more firepower and speed, and a very hungry group to learn. And it was fun to be a part of, but like you said, definitely not an easy weekend to be a coach. There's a lot of tough decisions, and even after the fact, we made a couple of trades just to get down to that number we had to get to, and there was some hard goodbyes in that. I mean, you spend a lot of time recruiting kids, and having to let them go is tough because you build a relationship with their family and everything, and we had to let a returner or two go as well. And like we talked about it before the weekend, I mean, if you it doesn't matter who you are, anybody is fair game to get caught or moved, and we have to do our jobs as an organization to put the best team on the ice. And that weekend was a very special weekend. I think it was cool. We do every year, we bring everyone to a local sponsor bar, and we do like a meet and greet, so you get to know everyone's families and everyone, because a lot of times you're just talking to the kid at a rink. So that's one thing that I think we do that's really cool as well.
And now with camp and practices and workouts going, been seeing some of the videos flowing around social media, the workouts. I mean, these guys look like they are ready to get down to business. They're ready to bring the lunch pail, the work boots, and they're looking like they're ready to get to work, get into this season. Is that the vibe you guys as a coaching staff are getting as well?
Yes, and I think at the beginning it was a little bit of culture shock. I think one of the big things, I have to give a shout out, one of the big things we added this year was we're working out at Train Domain with Marnie Dick, and she does an unbelievable job, and she pushes those kids every single morning, and we're very happy to have her on board. And I think the first couple of days the guys were like, oh man, this is tough, because they're used to just having abs after practice, but now they're, instead of just having after practice stuff and then working out on their morning on their own, they go to Marnie in the morning, and they're getting the crap kicked out of them right now. But I mean, you can see the lights picking up every single day. Everyone's getting more comfortable with each other. And I think just having that extra little bit of energy at workouts and stuff is going to bring out a little bit more life of kids that maybe are a little bit more shy. And once that life picks up, you don't even realize it, and you're working hard. So this is a good group. They push each other pretty hard in the gym, and they push each other extremely hard on the ice, which is what you want to see. It's kind of a coach's dream.
And you kind of just scratch the surface there with these guys having a trainer. She's working them hard. Obviously, hockey players, that is, something that they're going to need with the conditioning down the road as you get into the dog days of the season and guys are getting worn down and run down. But how does going to these workouts, and you being a hockey player yourself and being through kind of a similar scenario, how does that build a team and just make that foundation and the structure among these young men just that much more strong?
I think the main thing is Marnie, she knows what she's doing. She's trained the Rivermen a lot. So just having that quality of workout obviously is good to have, because she knows what they need specifically as hockey players, because it's a very different sport. But to win a championship together, you have to be willing to die for the guy next to you. And I think that starts in the gym with, you got to be willing to put everything on the line every single day, put your body through hell. And these guys are, every single day, it looks like these guys are jumping in a pool. And then that's how, when I see them at the end of the workout, they look like they just got out of a pool fully clothed. So I think if you're willing to bleed and sweat with each other, and eventually get them to be willing to die for each other, that's how we're going to bring a cup to Peoria.
And one last thing before we bid our fair adieu here, lots of cool things happening. We're going to do these around the stables weekly. We're going to preview upcoming weekends. We're going to discuss the previous weekend a little bit. As a coach and the coaching staff as a whole, what are you guys most looking forward to this season with the stuff with social media and just getting the Mustangs out there and keeping the fans interactive with everything going on?
I think it's just cool to be able to like even just our workouts, being able to it's something that we haven't really had in the past because everyone does have a full-time job. I mean, quick shout out to Guy. I mean, we're very grateful that Guy gets to help us with training camp and hopefully even farther into the season. I mean, it's awesome to have him around. He's one of the best hockey minds, I think, personally, in all of hockey. So having him around is a big bonus, and we're working on stuff that people have never seen. So having me being able to be there all day and get videos of all this stuff and getting it to you to get on the social media is just letting people know what we're doing and what we're all about. And I think we want people to see what we're doing and see how crazy Peoria really is when it comes to training and everything, and how good of a setup we have. Because I personally think that we have the best setup in the league as far as locker room and facilities and everything. And yeah, this year is just, it's going to be cool just to try to get our social medias growing and everything. I know you've been pushing pretty hard to get the YouTube channel growing, and unfortunately, if we do get it growing, a lot more people are going to see my ugly mug on here, but that's all right, because we want to make this thing big. And you know, the bigger it is on social media, I think with how things are going these days, it's going to be easier to recruit and everything's just going to kind of fall into place.
All right, Mustangs fans, Josh Urban here, voice of the Peoria Mustangs, co-head coach Blake Ortman. This is Around the Stable, and as Blake said, with the YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Be sure to like us, follow us, subscribe to us, everything. We got a lot of great content planned for the YouTube channel. That'll spill over into the Facebook. That'll spill over into Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So be sure to stay tuned for lots of great content. This is Around the Stable.